Wow, the whole service has just been encapsulated in one brief moment. Thank you. Thank you, Dan, for writing that. Thank you, Benjamin. That was quite amazing. Welcome to the Unitarian Society of New Haven. We meet here every week and have for 2 generations, bordering on 3. Our liberal, free religious values mean a lot to us. We place great stake in human dignity all across the board, in every reach of the human imagination. And on Pride Day, in the name of love, LGBTQ plus values also mean the world to us. And let's place the value on that plus. The furthest dimensions of the human soul, of mind and spirit and body, encapsulated in the old transcendentalist traditions and lived out in the streets of America today and in family lives and in the halls of Congress, everywhere we look. What we believe matters, and how we treat each other matters. And we're so glad that you're with us today for this celebration. Because we have now tripped over into summer, our announcements are delightfully few. But there is an adult RE monthly discussion circle today at noon in the library. We invite you to come forth and get coffee and refreshments. And within about 45 minutes at 12:15, we're going to be having, I think, an important talk entitled Prospects for Peace and Coexistence Within the Israelis and Palestinians in an Age of Genocide. We're going to be hearing from Jonathan Katab, a Palestinian-American lawyer, born in Jerusalem, who works in Jerusalem, who is devoting his life to non-violent solutions to a very violent reality. I think his words are important, and I want to hear them. And I want to be here, and if you can text a friend, let's see who we can get into the sanctuary today. And now I invite forward Maggie Goodwin, who bestowed on me last year the ceremonial pride sash. And Maggie, if you come forward and offer your love talk, please.
Hello, hopefully you can hear me. Morning. I just wanted to thank you all for participating in today's service. And just to remind you that USNH is designated as a UUA welcoming congregation. I'm Maggie Goodwin, the unelected co-chair of the LGBTQ plus Welcoming Social Justice Task Force. That's a mouthful. I personally identify as part of the LGBT community at USNH. I've experienced USNH as a welcoming community for me as a 76-year-old white woman who is a retired social worker, who identifies as a lesbian, who's been a Unitarian since age 18, and is fairly physically mobile and fairly healthy. I did not always identify as a lesbian or as gay, and I share with others here, and I'll share with you, that I was once married to a man and then have been in 2 what I called long-term relationships with women before having 16 years ago partnering and marrying my current female partner, Deb Johnson. I've not always lived in Connecticut, and I've changed in many ways through the years. But at USNH, I feel comfortable as identifying as part of the LGBT community here. I've also shared with you all, though, that that's not true for me everywhere. Even though I'm 76, there are many settings where I do not freely identify as a lesbian or part of the LGBT community. Many of us experience that at work, or in other settings. But here, I personally feel totally welcomed and accepted, and I feel I can bring my whole self to this community. And I thank you all for that. I didn't warn you that I cry all the time. It's all right. It's not part of being gay. It's just, it's just me. And many of you have shared with me and others through the years that you also identify as part of the LGBTQ community, and have shared also that you have partners, children, parents, nieces, nephews, other extended family, neighbors, co-workers who identify as part of the LBG community, including transgender youth and adults. Many of you have attended workshops or actions supporting LGBTQ rights, or have come to our gatherings the second Sunday, 12 to 1, in room 208 this month. You have put a rainbow ribbon or sticker on your name tag. You've identified your pronouns, thus sharing your willingness to connect with people identified in some way as part of the LGBT community. You might also have shared with someone that you are non-binary, or that you have a son or daughter who is gay, or your father is transgender, or your grandfather is gay, or you have a family member who is married in a same-sex relationship, or you have a child who's transitioning. These simple actions and disclosures let others know that you might have experience struggling with issues faced by people who are part of the LGBTQ community. You may have family or friends who are members of the community and are active in your life. Many of you through years have worked diligently in this way by listening and talking, to make USNH an LGBTQ welcoming congregation in many ways, large and small. I'm grateful for those purposeful, welcoming actions or personal disclosures at USNH that continue to make, I'm very sorry. I'm grateful for those many purposeful welcoming actions or personal disclosures at USA that contribute to making us feel safe and welcoming to all of us, old and young, and our families and members of our support system. We all thank you for that. I'm grateful and thank for what we have done together, welcoming the LGBT community here. But I believe at this point in time, I need to ask the community to challenge ourselves going forward, to not just be content as a welcoming congregation, but rather to do more, to explore becoming a UUA radically welcoming congregation, and to be radically welcoming. I'm asking because I believe we are called as Unitarians, or whoever's sitting in this room, that we are called at this time when many of the LGBTQ plus community feel vulnerable, under siege, and at risk of losing our rights in society as a whole. My hope is that USNH can take much deserved credit for being a welcoming congregation, but then consider embarking this next year on becoming what the UUA calls a radical welcoming congregation, committing to doing the extra mile, focusing extra effort on reaching out and welcoming and supporting those in the LGBT community and those who love and care about us. These are times that I believe need bold action. I'm thanking you in advance for pondering in community what things each of us can do to create an even more radical welcoming environment in USH for the entire LGBTQ community, and to commit ourselves to reach out, come together to more purposefully discussed and shared ourselves and our life experience, our observations, our suggestions, and work harder to dissolve obstacles that the LGBT community are experiencing. Excuse me. We hope to understand that where we are able to create a community where everyone is accepted and defined as how they define themselves. So thanks again for coming today and continuing to strive to maintain USNH as an LGBT welcoming community. And I hope that you can pledge today, silently, to work hopefully together to be a radically welcoming congregation. It's so important in so many of these times, in these challenging times, to have truly welcoming spaces and active support for the LGBT community. So I have to leave right after the service, but trust me, I'll be in touch. I hope that each of you will go or email to the office and subscribe to the SJAN at USNH, which is the social action email, where if you're part of that, you will get notifications of various things that are happening, actions, those kinds of things. But you have to be put on it, and you can then put things also out to other people. So that's in the newsletter, and as part of the Social Justice Council, I'm encouraging everyone, particularly for the summer, to sign on so you know what's going on in these troubled times. So, thank you. Enjoy the service, and thank you.
Good morning. I am Bob Sembiante. My pronouns are he and him. I'm relatively new to the congregation. Maggie brought me in, and here I am. I will be hopefully helping with this initiative as we move forward. I stumble over LGBTQ plus as well, so I just like to say LGBTQuA. So I am a member of the LGBTQuA community. Today's call to worship was written by Hannah Roberts Villeneuve. People sometimes ask, is pride a protest or a party? And the answer is, of course, yes. And why not? Why not rejoice as we resist? Dance as we demand change. Celebrate as we create community that delights in all of who we are. So bring all of that with you this morning. Bring your policy demands, bring your glitter, bring your Supreme Court broken heart, and bring your rainbow socks. Bring the emptiness you feel for our siblings gone too soon. Bring your Gloria Estefan remix, bring your tender hope for change, bring your most garish eyeshadow, bring your spirit tattered and battered by a world that seems insistent on choosing fear and hate. Gather up all these things and bring them here to a place where we don't have to shoulder these burdens or celebrate these joys alone. Come, let us worship together.
Do we have our piano player in the house? Daniel, we're on. As we rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number 1021, Lean on Me, I invite you to sing and also to bring forward your joys, your sorrows, your concerns. Bring them with you. If you have a joy that you would like to be illuminated by this community, we invite you to light a candle. If you have a sorrow that is weighing on your soul this morning, we ask that you come and place a stone or a shell into the water so that the water of this community can help hold and dissipate the weight of that sorrow. Let us sing 1021. Lean on me, rise in body or spirit, and bring your joys and your sorrows.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long, I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if there are things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long, I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me, lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long, I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, you need a hand, we all need somebody to lean on. Just like have a problem, you understand, we all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long, I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Maybe I won't cry through this. Not proud. Please join me now in reciting the words that appear in our order of service or in the chat on the live stream. We covenant together to create and nurture a culture of respect and kindness, and to engage in spiritual and everyday practice of loving more generously. To this end, we will strive to be open, value differences, listen deeply, use kind language, speak our truths, work with conflict, seek humor and joy. $37 trillion.
Is that the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy? No, not even close. That's a paltry 100 billion. Is it the US national debt? Closer, but not quite. This unfathomable figure is the average number of cells in the human body, all sprung forth from one. Dividing, growing exponentially over 265 days, give or take. A technicolor photo developing in a dark room, in a chemical bath, a unique mix of heat, agitation, time, and whether the one providing oxygen and nutrients ate an avocado or ice cream or spicy tikka masala, whether they got enough folate and calcium, whether they played music to their belly or passed on genetic trauma, whether they were running a temperature or running scared. 46 packets of DNA programmed to come together in 23 matched pairs. But since when has everyone at the dance had a partner? There are those who hold hands in a circle, those who improvise, some who groove alone. All of those variables, all of those whirling combinations of chemicals and chromosomes, of molecules and Mozart, hormones and mitochondria, tissues brimming with electric connections, the billions of different ways an individual can pop out, and then the trillions of things we hear, see, read, think, learn, eat, feel, touch, know. All of that. And some still insist there are exactly two ways to be. Two colors, ignoring an endless spectrum. Two tastes, as if we have forgotten our tongues. Two words, denying that we are epic poems. When my child was in my womb, floating in that small ocean, I knew they held an entire galaxy within. Yes, because of the star stuff, those 6 little Lego blocks with which all life on Earth is built. The carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and phosphorus flung across space when some ancient star went supernova, reconfigured billions of times as amoebae and crustaceans, as seaweed and ferns, as pterosaurs and tangerines and trilobites and troglodytes, until coalescing, for now, as this particular tiny human. Yes, the stardust, but also the staggering possibilities. 300 million skin cells, the tickles, the kisses, the high fives, the hugs, and every 7 years you get a full new set. 3 billion heart cells, the passions, the care, the yearning, the adrenaline, experiencing emotions like laughter through tears. 10 billion nerve cells in a gelatinous brain, synapses firing, interpreting signals, sending instructions, learning, speaking, singing, joking, writing, wondering why. Mom, tell me 9 things that are infinite. It is almost midnight, and my 6-year-old knows just how to stall bedtime. Space, I say, glancing at the stars projected on the ceiling, wondering if my child will really be, as they confidently assert, the first kid on Mars. Time, I sigh, as it stretches back behind me and forward in front of us and also all around us, because how did she get to be old enough to contemplate infinity when I gave birth perhaps a year ago? Numbers, of course. This one is enamored with numbers, counting and adding and multiplying and making careful worksheets for me to complete. He may well become the first person I know to count to 1,000,000. Songs you can sing, I smile. Your name means my garden or my song, and you are my favorite song. Sing me a lullaby, like when I was younger, the north wind. I gladly comply. Stories you can tell, I laugh, because we create stories together all the time now. Mostly silly ones about monkeys and elephants or superheroes and villains, but sometimes tales of who we want to be. Ways to cook food, I murmur, remembering their pride and excitement while helping to make pancakes that morning. They spilled a messy constellation of flour on the counter, and their eyes twinkled like mischievous stars. Art you can make, I observed. We have created an artist, one who produces portraits and landscapes and still lifes and sculptures and characters and comics nearly every waking moment. Her hands are little impressionist palettes, colors smudged into each other like dusk or dawn. Love is infinite, I say, and hope. Mom, my child scolds, like I haven't finished the assignment. Love and hope are the same thing. Let us now share silence together.
Each week we take up an ever more necessary and essential collection for the ministries of this congregation. It seems like each week as we turn on the news and realize that the lifelines that people have depended on or just asked for nicely are getting viciously taken away. And so, each week we continue to lift up the need that this congregation and other congregations like it will continue to fight to fill, along with so many other nonprofit organizations in these times. As Daniel plays our offertory, I ask that you give generously.
I'm going to read a reflection for Tristan. These are his words. This spring, a resolution declaring Greenfield, Massachusetts, to be a sanctuary city for trans and gender diverse people passed our town council without opposition. The meeting was well attended, with many trans residents and allies showing up to support and offer testimony. It was amazing and magical. 2 months earlier, I had submitted a draft trans sanctuary resolution to our town council, asking them to pass it or one similar. What it meant for us. Arjuna and I have both struggled to find ways to get involved and make a difference since Trump was elected president. Times have gotten really hard for a lot of people in this country. Trans people are being scapegoated and vilified. We no longer feel like it is safe for us to travel very far out of state for vacations or to visit relatives. We're staying put in Massachusetts and Connecticut. In February, I read about Worcester passing a sanctuary resolution for trans people and realized that Greenfield really needed to do the same. It wasn't just important for the trans people who live here. I thought it was important for the world to understand that there are still safe places in the nation where trans folks can reside. So I researched and wrote a resolution, and Arjuna edited it and formatted it. Then I delivered it to our town council. It was a team effort. I think it's important for folks who feel hopeless to find ways to plug in during this time of persecution against so many. We don't all have to write resolutions for our town council, but there are lots of ways to plug in. If the big picture just feels too overwhelming, that's okay. Look for something small and local. Donate money to an LGBTQ family that is struggling. Create a little free library with books about democracy and equality. Put a bumper sticker on your car. Write letters to your town and state officials. Send a letter to the editor. Organize a queer potluck. Challenge your friends and colleagues who hold oppressive viewpoints. Wear a t-shirt with a radical message. There are many, many ways to plug in, and it's okay if those ways are small or local. What's important is not to surrender to a feeling of helplessness. We all have a voice. Use it. Speak up against racism and transphobia. Don't let yourself be pushed into a place of depressed inaction. There is always, always some way to plug in. Happy Pride and good luck.
She goes walking in the morning, dressed from heart to heel in gray. Camouflage for the city, blending with the buildings to make it through her day. But when the sun goes down, she blooms an evening primrose, iridescent pink beneath the glare of the spotlight. To her it's just the moon, rising none too soon, and she surrenders her fragrance to the night. Well, she sings toward songs, maybe does a little cabaret. The late crowd gets a serenade of old familiar tunes, each one of them a secret lullaby to a girlhood dipped in blue. He tried to toss her to the roadside, crushed her petals and stripped her tiny stem. He did not know poor soil is where she thrives, in railroad embankments, in chain link lots condemned. She lands on bare ground, sinks her roots down, and makes the wasteland blossom in the twilight. Well, all she wanted was to go to the dance, to be true, to be welcomed, to be seen. Now every night is prom night, and she's the mermaid, fairy, ballerina queen. And when the sun goes down, she blooms an evening primrose, iridescent pink beneath the glare of the spotlight. To her it's just the moon, rising none too soon, and she surrenders her fragrance to the night. Grace will grow unbounded in the night.
Thank you, Arjuna. Thank you. Well, Pride's been rolling across the continent since the beginning of June. Well, we're a little bit late to the parade, but we're bringing all the exuberance and exaltation as any place in America. Pride is colorful, it is joyful, it is playful, it is out there, and of course in all senses of that word, out there, but it always comes with an inner steel, a firm inner resolution, and even an edge of grief for all those who died too soon. And this year, it also comes edged, if we're paying any attention whatsoever, with fear. This is a fear that is not weariness, but wariness. A resolution not to be caught off guard, to be paying attention for each other. There are forces at work. They are not a majority. That's the good news. They're not a majority. But unfortunately, there are forces at work that are very powerfully placed and adamant, remorselessly so, who really want to roll back all that has been gained. From the front pages in the New York Times 3 days ago, gay marriage turning 10, will it turn 11? What a headline to wake up to. And of course, the shocking Supreme Court decision last month that upheld Tennessee's determination to bar doctors and families from assisting in the transition of folks that want, following medical and family and even religious advice, to begin the journey to their true gender identity, the gender identity that calls out in them. And if this judgment stands, will then leach like a stain into what adults can do? And from Tennessee to the nation as a whole? 2 weeks ago, I read words from Clarence Darrow in the Scopes trial, and now I share this. In Tennessee, you are breaking my heart. I grew up in Tennessee. They are not so different from us, and yet, when we were planning this service, and Jesse got us planning really early, which is great, the phrase "beyond and not backwards" really came to me. And then immediately, the cadence, the vivid cadence and startling words of Walt Whitman. I sang the body electric, and you heard it at the very beginning of this service. So beautifully evoked. And that's what we're doing today. we have come together to sing the body electric. As he said, the armies of those I love, they will not let me off until I go with them, respond to them, and discorrupt them, and charge them full with the charge of the soul. And if the body does not do fully as much as the soul, and if the body were not the soul, what is the soul? Whitman asked. Well, to resist. To those who deny the spirit and the mind and the body is ultimately being one and as soul. That is the very definition of that word that Whitman uses, to disrupt. It's a legal battle. It's a political battle. I submit to you that it is a religious battle. It's a battle lived in every street of our country and every state. But ultimately, all these things converge in this attempt to discorrupt as a spiritual struggle for who we wish to be, to go beyond and not backwards, to truly sing the body electric, words from 150 years ago that might as well be sung for each of us today and for all of us today. What is the soul? If we repress and deny all that the soul calls out for, to truly be who it wishes to be and to love who it wishes to love, to find its truest identity, and to find its ability to live in its skin. Whitman says the wildest, largest passions, bliss that is utmost, sorrow that is utmost, become them well, pride for them. The full spread pride is calming and excellent to the soul. For the body is sacred. The man's body is sacred and the woman's body is sacred. No matter who it is sacred. These words might as well be part of our creed as a democratic and compassionate society that upholds human decency. I have to say, of course, I'm indignant. I am offended by all that's going on, by these life deniers claiming a kind of perverse soul superiority when all they're attempting to do is to truly take away the freedom of the soul. But there's one key element here that offers us hope, it offers us sustenance, and it provides an adequate recompense to any weariness that we might feel, so that the celebration and color and joy of pride gets reaffirmed. And what is that? It's a simple thing. That the body has a vote. So many people get ideas in their heads. Maybe they learned it in childhood religion. Maybe they picked it up somewhere along the way about the way life should be, and they're adamant they're going to take away other people's freedom to be who they wish to be. But I am always ultimately hopeful because the body has a vote. The body speaks. It wants, cries out for its truest identity. Women said, food, drink, pulse, digestion, sweat, sleep, waking, swimming, poise on the hips, leaping, reclining, embracing, arm curving and tightening, the continual changes of the flex of the mouth and around the eyes, the skin, the sunburnt shade, freckles, hair, the curious sympathy one feels when feeling out with the hand, the beauty of the waist and thence of the hips, the bones and the marrow in the bones, the exquisite realization of health. Oh, I say, these are not the parts and poems of the body only, but of the soul. And I say now, those are the soul. This is a spiritual battle. And there is this. We will win in the end. Of that, I am absolutely sure and confident. For despite any fear that might be out there, despite any prejudice that raises its ugliness, there is something that fuels pride. And it's always this. The body has a vote. It is destined to feel what it feels, to demand its right to go through life as it wishes to go. And all the repression and denial in the world cannot repeal or repress this deep, active, electric charge in each of us, which is glorious. To be free, so that the human body can love, connect, and be touched. This is inescapable, and it is in the end undeniable. The body has a vote. So we, together, sing the body electric, the root reality of who we are and who we wish to be, and who we wish to love. We, together, today, sing the body electric. And as this service concludes, I'm going to ask Bob to come forward to lead us in words as we extinguish this chalice, but the worship committee is reaching a realization that we don't really extinguish that flame. We snuff it out so that the flame goes into each one of you, into your lives, into your families, into your community, into this nation, and into a world that so desperately needs this reassertion of what our forebears called soul freedom. Soul freedom. The spiritual struggle that continues. Bob, if you will come forward.
Thank you. Please recite with us the words in your order of service for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into our hearts until we are together again.
We speak your names with wounded tongues, friends and beloveds cut down too young. We hold your names cradled in our hands. They give us cause to take a stand. Year after year, the list grows too long. We honor you with voice, we honor you with song. We will fight for justice for each name we call, until the day when there are none at all. No more names, no more names. We will work for that that day. No more names, no more names. Piece by piece, we'll make that day, and you'll be with us on that day.
Friends, any one person who feels alone needs to feel our loving support. So let us bring this service to a close by rising in body or spirit and singing together hymn number 170, Gentle Angry People. Benjamin will begin with us singing the first verse solo, and then we will join in and raise our voices.
We are singing.
Anyone who's still in the sanctuary? We've had a request for Benjamin to sing the Body Electric one more time, so he's going to do that. Anybody who's still in the sanctuary?
I see